completion part 2. Brain conversations for book completions part 2. Hello and welcome to the Smart Short Break series, and I am Leslie Grace, the confidence coach. I help you master confidence smartness through smart reading, smart thinking, and of course, smart speaking. It is time, dear busy professionals, for you to take the mic. Reading trauma has been speaking to your brain for too long, and it explains all of your reading struggles with starting and finishing books. So it is time to take over the mic. Yesterday we began this conversation. It was amazing. We were able to take about 15 break conversations you have to have with your brain to be able to complete books that you start. Start books enthusiastically and finish them creatively. Yesterday, the feedback was quite amazing. The comments and all were highly demanding, and everybody's like, okay, so coach, can we have more? Right? So respond to your desire of having more. We are continuing this conversation today. I told you we'll have about 31 brain conversations. Of course, we'll have more than that, but 31 brain conversations. And yesterday I said, do we put this in a guide, brain talk guide, or something like that? And most of us said yes. And I said, if I get quite a number of yeses, I would. I want to say to you, I have gotten quite a number of yeses, both privately and here on YouTube comment section yesterday. And so we're putting it together, something that you get pretty soon as your guide to having certain brain conversations for book completion. But today we want to get some more. Now, if you buy books with excitement, yet when it's time to finish them, your brain suddenly goes quiet or loud in the wrong way, you have to be on this live to the end. Every time I meet busy professionals, they don't have a problem with buying books. 80% of them don't even have a problem with starting reading these books, but the biggest problem is in finishing. And every time you start something and don't finish it, even in life, even in, oh, hi again, hi again, lovely. We had a horrible network glitch. We're here earlier, but the network was networking. So we had to go try to fix it and then come back, okay? So you're welcome again. What you want to do is to actually go and invite somebody. Call those who were here in this live that we are back. So, I started earlier with a story. Of a neighbor of mine who had a good deal to buy a home at a very giveaway price. It was an elderly couple who was relocating to the suburbs, to their village, and so they just needed to just sell off that house, and it was a good deal. She liked it, her husband liked it, her children loved it, but it was a story building, and she was hesitant to want to buy the property. And so it was a struggle for her, and her husband was going to go ahead with this deal, and then it became a big problem. This whole back and forth kept on happening until one day, the husband had a conversation with her, and she says, I have a challenge with story buildings. What was the challenge? Her younger sister, at age 3, had fallen from, the rails on a stairway, had fallen from there, and she had to live her whole life with an impairment because of that. And so she cannot forget that incident. And so every time she looks or thinks of a story building, her trauma says to her brain, avoid. She begins to smell danger. She begins to touch her sister, who is crippled because of this incident. Yes, the sister got crippled. And then she begins to hear a lot of things. All of this is trauma speaking to her. Now, I'm using this analogy, which is a true life story, to show you that your brain is always hearing. Your brain can see. Your brain can touch. Your brain can perceive. And like I said, your brain is a being. It's one thing you need to say to yourself. This live is short, quick, sharp. I'll just take a few conversations I can take. Maybe 15 minutes I should be done with this live session. A few conversations we can take for today. But I want to say to you that your brain can hear, see, touch, smell. All of the 5 senses, the human brain has the capacity to operate in either of those senses. In fact, it even has a 6th sense, which is the sense of discernment. Your brain can also discern Anyway, let's not get into that. So today, if you want to actually start books and finish them, there must be a conversation that you must have. You must be able to take the mic. And yesterday I shared with you 15 of these conversations. Today we're going to continue from number 16. Let us see how many of these conversations we can take today. And I said yesterday, have these conversations, put it where you can see it, write it down. Okay, don't worry, we're working out on something for you concerning these conversations where you can see and have them. Let's go. Your brain says to you, trauma says to you, trauma speaks to your brain and trauma says, others finish more books than you. Have you heard these words before from yourself? I remember some new book bingers will come in and this will be part of their challenge. Oh, returning book bingers have finished their books. Some will send me DMs and they'll be like, Coach, where do I begin from? Coach, where do I begin from? I don't know what to do. People are just moving. And so the trauma of them being forced to read, the pressure they faced while reading as a child, the sabi, you too sabi, those words that they heard because they were the flying star in class made them shut down from books because books meant embarrassment. Books meant being alienated by your friends in school or class who feel that you are overdoing it. These make them just say, oh no, I'm not going to read. So now, as a business professional, as an adult, they're now in a space where they're struggling with their books and their trauma keeps saying, others will finish more books than you. When you hear this word, what do you see? Say to your brain, comparison, I beg your pardon. Comparison is not my teacher. Write it down. Dear busy professional, why is comparison your teacher? Fire that teacher. Today, fire comparison as your teacher. Say to your brain, comparison is not my teacher. I want to read books, I want to start and finish. However, I'm not in a space where I'm comparing my journey with anybody's journey. Comparison is my teacher. I don't want to compare. Everyone's journey is unique and different. I do not want to compare my journeys with anybody. And the truth is, even apart from reading, in life as a whole, comparison is a bad teacher. Don't allow it to teach you. So every time your brain goes, this person is on the 4th book of the year, you're not doing anything, it's trauma speaking. It's trauma speaking. That trauma of them evaluating you in school, I talked about this yesterday, and in the comment section, you'll be able to access the part 1 of this video, or better still, look out for it. You see the part 1 on our YouTube channel. This is part 2 of the brain conversations for book completion, right? So say this to yourself, comparison is not my teacher. Number 2 for today. So that's number 17 from the part 1, number 17. This book is too important to mess up. You pick up a book and your brain remembers how many times you pick books and you don't finish them. Or how many times you pick books and you rush over them, you don't really get value. So your brain now says to you, you're going to carry that book again. See, this book is not like every other book. You better drop that limitless book, drop it. It's such a good book for you to mess up with. Say this to your brain. Importance doesn't require pressure. Write it down. Importance doesn't require pressure. Because your brain is trying to pressurize you. It's trying to make you be in a place where you are under. And when, you cannot start and finish books because you are under pressure. The last time you did it in university days, the pressure made you read, cram, chew, and pour. Like we will say, la cram, la pour. That's what you did. But you can't remember one thing from that book. That's because you read under pressure. So if your brain or trauma is trying to speak to you that, oh no, this book is so important to mess up. Don't mess up this book. Don't do this. Say to your brain, importance does not require pressure. Some of us are used to a pressure-filled life. Nothing comes easy for us. We have to drag, pull, tug, everything all the time. Say to your brain. So even with your books, you're doing the same thing unconsciously. Trauma is making you do the same thing. It's important. Hey, be under pressure. Importance doesn't require pressure. Number 18, you don't feel motivated. You pick up a book and your brain says, drop the book. You don't feel motivated. Has this happened to you before? Let me know in the comment section. Yes, this one has happened to me severally. Because I had to deal with reading trauma myself. And so it got to a point where every time I pick up a book, I don't feel motivated. And I say to myself, oh, please, I don't feel motivated, maybe over the weekend. Weekend will come and I'll say maybe next weekend. Another weekend, it became months, years that I couldn't finish one book in a whole year. It entered 2 years, 3 years, I couldn't finish one book. Motivation is not required for closure. I hope you have this conversation with your brain. Write it down. Write it down. Let me see it in the comment section. Motivation is not required for closure. Motivation is not required for closure. Motivation is not required for closure. You want to close and finish up that book, you don't need motivation. The things you are close, the deals you are closing up in your life, were you motivated to close those deals? I'm sure you were not. So you don't want to let your brain play that trick on you to say, oh, you have to be motivated to be able to. No, you don't. Number 19, you've abandoned books before. You pick up a book, and the first thing your brain says to you, you have abandoned books before, drop it now. And you go, ha, this is me, books abandoned. There's something like that. CEO, MD CEO, abandoned project incorporation. Oh Lord. Motivation is not required for closure. So even when you don't feel motivated and your brain now says you've abandoned books severally, say this first. Motivation is not required for closure. Then the next thing you say to yourself is, today we finish safely. Forget about the abandoned books I did yesterday. Today we finish safely. You know, it was the Bible that said, remember ye not the former things, for I will do a new thing. Stop remembering the former abandonment of books. Stop it. For he will do a new thing. A new thing will happen. So say to your brain, today we finish safely. Today we finish safely. I want to see it in the comment section. Today we finish safely. Today we finish safely. Today we finish safely. Number 20, and I told you that this is going to be a 15 minutes live, so we just have a few minutes and I'll be leaving here. Number 20, take the one you can take and look out for the guide. We will definitely bring it out and you'll be able to access it. Number 20, you must understand everything first. This is one of the messages I keep getting. Oh, coach, I apply your principles. I read. I love the way I read a whole lot. But I have a problem. I don't understand several things. Sometimes I understand 80%. Sometimes I understand 90%. You must not understand everything first. But you see, reading trauma says this to you. You must understand everything first. When you hear that voice, say to yourself, say to your brain loud and clear, complete